Okay, folks, here is the 9/11 update, September the 11th, 2017, here at the Victoria Condominium Complex. Well, the first thing I saw this morning when I went outside was this debris laying here on the garage, the entrance to the garage, and I panned around with the camera to try to figure out where it came from, and I couldn't quite figure it out at the moment. And then I found some more debris here, as you can see, and then it occurred to me that it was the cupolas on the left and right building. Not the main one, but the one on the left and the one on the right, both of which blew away. Also, the one on the cabana blew away as well. So then I proceeded to drive around the loop. Here I'm leaving the Victoria complex, and you'll see the debris that's left over from the trees shedding. Thank goodness we had the trees pruned when we did, or we would have had a real mess going on here. This is not so bad leaving Victoria. However, when we come around here, you'll notice that it's significantly worse. There's a fairly large branch over here on the right. You'll see that I was able to drive around. I assume the people will be here on Tuesday or Wednesday to do the landscape work, and then they'll clean this up as they have done in the past. But it's almost a complete carpet of leaves and little branches and so forth around the entrance here coming into Victoria. So we're going to drive around and come up, take another quick look at the Victoria property. We suffered little to no damage at all. Well, as we move on in the video, you'll see a couple of other little areas that we had some issues with, but other than that, it was very, very minimal. So we're going to drive back out again, and then this time we're going out and getting onto A1A. So I had a plan, and the plan was I was going to go out and get on A1A and drive around Vero Beach for our residents who live up north, or the folks who have gone away because of the storm, and they could get a look at the video and see exactly what had taken place around town. Well, that didn't work out real well, because once I got out onto A1A, the Indian River Shores police yelled at me in their speaker, and they said, "Please go to your house. Please go home." And I said, "Aye, aye, sir," and turned around and came home and picked up with my video. But anyway, you'll see coming up here, I'm going to get on the road, come out of our entrance, and start heading south. Now, the first thing I did run into about a half a mile south of Victoria, if you notice over on the left-hand side, you see the headlights of the car coming towards us. On the left-hand side, there's a big tree that has fallen there, and that tree is what has caused the problem with probably some of our power line issues and so forth, because we still have no power here and we have no Comcast. So the police officer started yelling at me, and as you can see, I immediately obeyed the orders of turning around and going back. I don't need any issues with the Indian River Shores Police Department. So now I'm heading back. This will be a little bit repetitive when we come back to Victoria, because we're going to drive in through the entrance and through the green carpet, and then as soon as we get in here, we'll start in the back of the property, and you'll have a good idea of what was going on back there. But here again, I'm coming in through the entrance. But fortunately, we did have very minimal damage here. We did lose an air conditioner on the third floor. Here is one of the lights on the back that, as you can see, has fallen over, and another light that has fallen over. So two of the lights got blown over. And then I started walking west on the south side. And as I was walking along, I noticed to the left, the camera will pan now over to the left, and you'll see a couple of big trees that have split apart and fallen. But other than that, that's really the only serious foliage damage that I could see, and that will just take a saw and cut those up, and everything will be back to normal. Of course, the grass is looking nice and green. We did have plenty of water in this particular rain. Alrighty, here is another light that is tried to blow over but didn't quite make it. check these sea grapes out. These guys really had a rough time of it for the past 24 hours. I mean, they were trying to get stripped. I mean, those guys are sad and not happy at all. And this must have been a very, very bad storm, winds right in that general area in front of our cabanas. There's the cupola that is remaining, and he's sort of okay. I think he needs a little help, but if you look over here on the right, you'll see, well, there's the missing one on the cabana area. So that's where one of those went, and then the other two were on the main building. We're going to run out to the beach here and take a look at this. I think our beach looks really good. I was concerned. Now, as you can tell, it's low tide, so the surf is out, but the beach really looks nice. And I shot quite a bit of video here just so you can get a better feel for what we have. And you folks who have lived here longer than I will have a much better idea as to whether this is good, bad, or indifferent. But I think we might have lost a little bit of beach, but nothing terribly significant like it was the last time. You do recall the video I did yesterday. The water was coming in underneath the overpass. And once again, the camera's going to pan back around and take a look at the sea grapes, and pan back around and take a look at the pool and cabana area. Walking across the overpass. And I took a shot over here of the palm tree you'll see coming up here. These guys were really bent over. You can see they're very tired. They're not wanting to stand up very well today after the past 2 or 3 days of heavy-duty winds. And we had 75, 80, 90-mile-an-hour winds last night as well. But they'll come back, they'll be fine, but right now they're pretty tired. This is the pool area. Nothing bad happened to our pool area other than needs good cleaning. But with the exception of the cupola on the right side there, we had no damage whatsoever in the pool area that I'm currently aware of. And there is the cupola from the cabana. Found it right beside the building, so maybe it's repairable. Now, this is an example of what happens when you don't close your shutters. I don't know whose apartment this is. They didn't close their shutters, and you can see the shutters here got ripped off by the storm, and there it is lying down there. And as a matter of fact, I'll do another shot here when the camera comes back up, and you'll see that there's another shutter. The one right below it isn't even fastened very well on the right. And that's this one here. The one on the bottom right is loose on the right. There's the shutter that fell down. That could have taken flight and really done something terribly bad. More shots of the palm trees just for you to get an idea of how tired they are today. They're going to rest up today and probably give them 4 or 5 days and they'll be snapping back to normal. There's another shot of the palm trees.
Let me hear me go. Let me hear me go. Let me hear me go.
Here's a set of hurricane shutters that didn't close very well. There's the missing cupola on top of one of the buildings, and there it is back down on the ground. That's one on the right. And in case you were interested in the generator, it's functioning now. It's running fine, and everybody seems to be pretty happy, and we have plenty of light and everything but air conditioning. Yeah, so there's our big giant generator, and we're using about 10% of its power, but it's running just fine. So stay tuned for more videos, and hopefully they'll let me out on A1A and I'll be able to take some videos. A lot of people who have seen these videos, especially when I get out on the street, ask me to go take a look at Castaway Cove and a couple of other places, which I don't mind doing as soon as I'm allowed to get out there. So I apologize to you people who are waiting for me to provide you with a video early this morning at 9 o'clock. I just couldn't do it. They wouldn't let me out there, but probably they will within the next few hours. So thank you for watching the video, and I hope this was of some help. And our friends up north, this is what's going on here. Nothing really bad happened. Have a great day.